Cool. You're playing the founder of Napster here, a party boy who claims that he's changed the world at least 3 times. There's a very difficult balance in this guy because in one level he's very charming, he's very smart, but on the other side of it he could be somebody you could term loosely as an asshole at times. I don't know if that was a difficult trick to get right, to sort of find that ground that people could see both sides, see that sort of uncertainty that Eduardo has about him.
That Eduardo has?
Yeah, well, in the movie you've got that sort of, balance of being very charming and very smart, and at the same time somebody you're not entirely trustworthy of necessarily for Eduardo, for example.
My character's not as trustworthy as Eduardo.
Well, he has, Eduardo finds him.
Oh, right. Okay,
somebody you can't really trust, and it is a difficult balance to get right that you're questioning. Was that a long question?
No. That was a great question. I just feel really stupid right now because I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. Could be the accent, could be the speed.
No. Maybe a little both.
Right.
No, I find, it's... I think when I first read the screenplay, it was obvious to me that Sean Parker in this story is not the hero of this film. But I think the film is a lot more complicated than that. I don't think there is a hero to this film. I think the hero to the film kind of is in the chyrons at the end, when you talk about the valuation of a company like this. And but I don't think that you find yourself not being sympathetic to all the characters. I find that this movie starts a discussion with people because they all see it the same way that this movie is told. The story of this movie is told through different truths. I find that everyone walks out with sort of a different guy that they empathize with, and I think I definitely think my character does not lack imagination, but I would say that as the diagramming how to portray him, I think that was important to include in his personality as well. And so, I can tell you that I diagrammed this character backwards, that I sort of started from the root of the darkest part and moved to the lightest part. And because I did want this character to, essentially he comes in the second half of the movie and it's about his relationship with Mark and how that affects Mark's relationship with Eduardo. So I feel like I wanted to peel a layer back each time that you saw something or heard something from this character.
I know you met Sean Parker in a nightclub, and you asked him about help, and he said that the character that Aaron Sorkin had written wasn't really him. So
that's not exactly true.
All right.
That's not exactly true. I did ask him because he had read the script. I did ask him what he thought of the script.
Right.
And he commented with that he wasn't legally allowed to talk about the story. That was the extent of our conversation. I met him briefly, but it was before I was cast in the role. It was speculated that I was cast in the role, so I obviously there was a little bit of a paradox there because I might have asked him more, but I didn't. And after sort of being cast in the part and going through the rehearsal process, I didn't think it was necessary to speak to anyone other than David Fincher and Aaron Sorkin about.
I've got to wrap up now.
The story.
Time is very tight. Just very quick, I know you played Dublin. I don't know whether you've got any deep emotional stories, because obviously every time somebody goes to Ireland, they have a deep emotional moment.
Oh man, it's one of the greatest places on earth. It really is. I find that I have more fun there than, I always feel like it's always a place that you're very excited when you're on tour to pass through. And also, I think the last time we played there, we played a couple of nights in a row at the track there, and it was just, outside. I know that I remember that it rained all day the first day, and then like 45 minutes before we were going on stage, the sun came out, which is a rarity for Ireland, period, from what I understand.
We wrote ballads about that day,
Yeah. And it was one of sort of the more magical sunset performances, concerts that I've ever put on. So it will always stay in my memory that night. The second day was like, should have been a rain out. I don't know why we had the balls to go on stage and with all that electronic equipment, with all that rain. But the first day was extremely memorable for all the right reasons.
Glad to hear it. I gotta go. Nice
Okay.
to talk to you. Yeah.
Thank you.